I will give the coaching hat to her as much as she wants, to be quite honest. So, we're going to play around with it a little bit. It'll be fun to. I think you've seen it with the Fever. She's been very active on the sideline when she wasn't playing, so we'll utilise that as well.
Sandy Brondello just gave Caitlin Clark the kind of recognition that would make any coach take notice. Meanwhile, Stephanie White is probably watching this unfold with a raised eyebrow. The New York Liberty coach even mentioned giving Clark the chance to call plays herself, essentially handing her the coaching hat. This situation is heating up fast. But before diving deeper into the coaching dynamics, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Stephanie White is quietly frustrated by how much praise Clark is getting from other coaches?
So lads, every single team in the WNBA wants Caitlin Clark on their team. Except for maybe.
Here we go again, another chapter in the ongoing saga of everyone wants Caitlin Clark, except maybe her own team. This time, it's Sandy Brondello delivering a masterclass in making another coach feel sidelined without even trying. Brondello, who's coaching Team Clark in the All-Star game, just unleashed a wave of praise, so enthusiastic it sounded more like a recruitment pitch than a compliment. She even said she's planning to give Clark the coaching hat and let her call plays during the game. Meanwhile, back in Indiana, Stephanie White is probably watching all this unfold, thinking, hold on, now I'm supposed to be coaching her, and now someone else is casually offering her my role just for fun.
Coach, obviously, Caitlin Clark out of the game, but she's expressed her desire to help you out. From the coaching perspective, have you gotten anything about maybe her traits as a coach?
Yeah, not yet. No, obviously unfortunate about Caitlin's not into this game, but she's going to still have a great impact on this team. I will give the coaching hat to her as much as she wants, to be quite honest. So, we're going to play around with it a little bit. It'll be fun to. I think you've seen it with the Fever. She's been very active on the sideline when she wasn't playing, so we'll utilise that as well.
Let's take a closer look at what Sandy Brondello actually said, because it reveals a lot. Her words were, I will give the coaching hat to her as much as she wants. To be quite honest, we're going to play around with it a little bit. It'll be fun. Now, if you're the coach of that player's regular team, hearing another coach speak like they're already planning a long-term partnership with your star has to sting, especially when your own coaching decisions have been under constant scrutiny all season.
Sounds of the game with Captain Caitlin Clark.
All right, Gabby, you dribble off. Sabrina's going to come set you this. You're going to skip it right when she sets it. Asia, you're coming to clean her up. We're getting this 4-point shot. Kelsey, where's Kelsey?
I like that.
You're passing it right to Sabrina for the three. I diagrammed this play. I diagrammed the play.
Sandy Brondello is treating Caitlin Clark like the basketball mind she truly is, while Stephanie White continues to make puzzling coaching choices like questionable rotations and putting injured players back into games that are already decided. The contrast couldn't be clearer. What makes this even more interesting is how Sandy keeps highlighting that Caitlin will still have an enormous impact, even when she's not on the floor. She's basically saying Clark sitting on the bench is more valuable than most players actively in the game. That's the kind of respect Clark should be getting from her own coach. But instead, there's confusion over basic injury management. Sandy also pointed out how engaged Clark is on the sidelines when she's not playing for the Fever. That tells you everything, even when she can't take the court. Caitlin is still more locked into the game plan than half the people making decisions around her right now. Brondello is treating this all-star moment like a preview of what could come next, handing Clark the keys, letting her make coaching calls, and showing her what it feels like to be valued for her basketball IQ. Not just her scoring. Meanwhile, Stephanie White is probably back in Indiana wondering why she never thought to involve Caitlin in coaching decisions. Maybe it's because she's been too focused on mismanaging player injuries to notice. The timing of all this praise couldn't be more pointed. Just as the criticism of White's coaching reaches its peak, Brondello steps in and shows exactly how a coach should treat a generational talent. She's not just complimenting Clark, she's openly talking about using her basketball mind as part of the coaching process. That's basically saying, this player is so sharp, I trust her to help me lead. When's the last time we heard Stephanie White say anything like that about Clark beyond just giving her the ball? Let's not forget the Liberty have had their eyes on Clark for a while now. This might be more than just all-star praise. It's starting to look like a long-term pitch clip.
Liberty? The New York Liberty sent their mascot in. The New York Liberty sent their mascot to try recruit Caitlin Clark.
For the New York Liberty aren't just playing the game on the court, they're playing the long game off of it too. Their players have been building connections with Caitlin Clark at events, and now their coach is practically auditioning to be her future boss. It's a full-court press, and honestly, it's working. Sandy Brondello's approach is subtle but effective. She's not being flashy or forcing it like other teams might. She's simply showing Clark what it feels like to be valued and respected by a coaching staff that actually understands her worth. No chaos, no mixed signals, just genuine BASKETBALL appreciation. The difference compared to how the Fever have handled things this season couldn't be more obvious. While Stephanie White has been scrambling to explain injuries she didn't even know about and making questionable game-time decisions, Sandy is out here talking about Clark like she's the smartest person in the room. And frankly, she probably is. Clark has been playing at an elite level for years, and her basketball IQ is unmatched. Any smart coach would look to use that knowledge to help guide the team. Sandy understands that. Stephanie, on the other hand, seems to have missed the memo. Sandy's decision to mic up Caitlin and let her coach during the All-Star game is a brilliant move. It's going to give the entire basketball world a front-row seat to exactly what the Fever are leaving on the table when they don't fully tap into Clark's leadership and insight. You can bet this isn't sitting well with Stephanie White. Here's a coach with championships under her belt, watching another coach not only praise her star player but show her how it's actually done. Meanwhile, the Liberty players are fully bought in. Sabrina Ionescu and Brina Stewart have both publicly shown Clark huge respect, and the entire Liberty organization treats her like the basketball icon she is. Compare all of that to some of the treatment Clark has received from her own teammates and organization this season, and the difference is night and day. While the Liberty have embraced her with open arms, certain moments with the Fever have felt cold or awkward by comparison. Then there's Sandy Brondello's comment about never being part of a trade, but being excited for this coaching trade during the All-Star game. That wasn't just a light joke. It was a subtle hint that she's already imagining what it would be like to coach Clark Fulton. You can sense it in the way she talks about her. Brondello isn't just praising Clark's talent, she's making it clear she sees her as the kind of player any smart coach would build around.
I mean, obviously we're good friends. Like, I've been able to talk to her a lot kind of through this, process. And honestly, I've kind of went through something similar in my career. I mean, my first year I didn't play due to injury. And then second year I had like 3 to 4 soft tissue injuries that I was dealing with. And it's kind of, you look back and it's a blessing in disguise because you're able to just learn and grow and, understand it's all part of your journey, and you just got to, continue to figure out what you need in a pro career. And so, just trying to be that kind of soundboard for her and that voice, having gone through something kind of similar, and, knowing obviously it's really unfortunate that we don't have her, but, she means a lot more to the game than just showing up and playing. And I think you're able to see that with just the excitement in Indy right now.
They care about individual play.
And I got traded, yes. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome, I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there.
And the Liberty are in a perfect position to make a run at Caitlin if the opportunity ever comes up. They've got the talent, the coaching, the organization, and the market. They're everything the Fever wish they could be. And Sandy's handling of this all-star situation is just more proof of that. What's really got to hurt for Stephanie White is watching another coach get praised for how they're planning to handle Caitlin. Sandy's getting credit for being smart enough to let Caitlin help with coaching decisions, while Stephanie gets criticized for not utilizing her properly. The media coverage of Sandy's comments has been overwhelmingly positive too. Everyone's talking about how smart it is to let Caitlin coach, how great their relationship seems, and how fun the All-Star game is going to be. Meanwhile, Stephanie White's recent media coverage has been about missed injuries and questionable decisions. Sandy also mentioned how Caitlin picked her team full of players she knows and likes. That's smart team building, and it shows that Caitlin has great relationships with players around the league. It also shows that when given the choice, she surrounds herself with positive people who respect the game. The fact that Caitlin is more excited about coaching during the All-Star game than she's seemed about some regular season games with the Fever is probably not lost on Stephanie White either. When your star player is more engaged helping another coach than playing for you, that's a problem. Sandy's approach to this whole situation has been masterful. She's showing respect for Caitlin's abilities. She's making the experience fun and engaging, and she's demonstrating what good coaching looks like. all while making Stephanie White's job look harder by comparison. The Liberty organization as a whole has been trying to recruit Caitlin for a while now, from social media posts to player interactions to now Sandy's coaching masterclass. They're putting on a full display of what a competent organization looks like. Every comment Sandy makes about Caitlin being a great leader and having excellent basketball knowledge is an indirect shot at how she's been utilized in Indiana. You don't have to say someone's doing a bad job when you can just show them how to do it right. The timing with all the Fever's organizational problems makes this even more painful. While Sandy is out here showing how to properly value and utilize a generational talent, the Fever are dealing with injury, communication issues, and coaching questions. Sandy's comments about being excited to coach Caitlin, even in this limited capacity, show what genuine enthusiasm for great players looks like. When's the last time we heard that kind of excitement from Stephanie White about coaching Caitlin? The Liberty's entire approach has been about showing Caitlin what a professional organization looks like. From top to bottom, they're demonstrating competence, respect, and basketball intelligence. It's a not-so-subtle recruitment pitch, and it's working. What's really telling is how natural this all seems for Sandy. She's not trying to force anything or make it weird. She's just treating Caitlin like the basketball genius she is, and letting that speak for itself. It's coaching 101, but apparently not everyone got the memo. The fact that Sandy is willing to share coaching duties with a player shows confidence in her own abilities and respect for Caitlin's knowledge. That's the kind of secure, intelligent coaching that great players respond to. Meanwhile, Stephanie White is probably wondering why she never thought to tap into Caitlin's basketball IQ more. Maybe because she's been too busy dealing with the chaos that seems to follow the Fever organization around. Sandy's handling of this situation is going to be studied by coaches and front offices around the league. She's showing how to build relationships with star players, how to utilize their strengths, and how to make basketball fun and engaging. The media is eating this up, too. Every article about the All-Star game mentions how smart Sandy is being, and how great her relationship with Caitlin seems. That's free, positive publicity while highlighting what good coaching looks like. The fact that Caitlin seems genuinely excited about this coaching opportunity with Sandy is probably the most telling part of it. When your star player is more animated about helping another coach than playing for you, that should be a wake-up call. Sandy's approach is so simple but effective. Treat great players with respect, utilize their strengths, and make the experience enjoyable. It's not rocket science, but apparently it's rare enough in the WNBA to get this much attention. The Liberty are positioning themselves perfectly for any future opportunity to add Caitlin to their roster. They're showing her what it would be like to be part of a competent organization with good coaching and smart basketball decisions. Every comment Sandy makes about Caitlin's leadership and basketball IQ is another reminder of what the Fever could be doing better. You don't have to criticize someone directly when you can just show them how it's done. The contrast between Sandy's excitement and confidence and the chaos surrounding the Fever is stark. One organization looks professional and competent. The other looks like it's constantly putting out fires. Sandy's willingness to let Caitlin coach during the All-Star game is going to be must-see TV. It's going to show everyone what happens when you actually utilize a generational talent properly instead of just putting them on the court and hoping for the best. This whole situation has to be a learning experience for everyone involved. Sandy is showing how to handle star players. The Liberty are showing what a competent organization looks like, and Caitlin is getting a taste of what it's like to be properly valued and utilized. The fact that this is all happening during All-Star weekend when the basketball world is watching makes it even more perfect. Sandy is getting to showcase her coaching ability and her relationship with Caitlin on the biggest stage possible. Sandy Brondello just showed everyone how to properly appreciate a generational talent, and Stephanie White has to be feeling some type of way about it. This coaching situation is about to get very interesting. What do you think about Sandy's approach? Drop your thoughts below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more WNBA drama content.